So whatever algorithm we have discussed earlier, as I told you, are comparison based sorting, in which we compare the elements on the basis of their value and then we take the decision. So the radix sort is something which is going to take the linear time and it does not falls into the comparison based sorting. So we'll just see that what is the method through which you can perform the sorting algorithm. And I think you are aware about this term radix. So radix is simply the base that we follow, right? So if I have, let's say, the binary numbers, then base will be 2. If I have the decimal number, the base will be 10, right? Similarly, if you talk about the alphabets in the English letter, then base will be 26. So radix is something which is very much dependent upon the base of the input that you have. So let's see the steps first of all. So this is the kind of a list that we are going to sort using radix sort. We'll just go through the steps. So what we need to do is, first of all, we group the element by their place value, right? Place value is unit place, then 10th place, then 100 and thousands and so on. So this is going to take decision on the basis of their place value. And let's say that we have these numbers as an input. We have 24, 83, 20, 133 and so on. So what I need to do out of the given list, I need to identify that what is the maximum number that I have. So you can see that the maximum number from the list is 900 and how many digits are there in 900. So there are exactly 3 digits. So what I need to do, I need to convert the numbers that I have into the 3-digit numbers. So you know that I simply need to append 0 at the prefix of a number. It will become a 3-digit number. So now 24 will become 024. Similarly, 83 will be 083 and so on. So each and every digit is now a 3-digit number, right? So once you have this list, now I need to start performing the processing on the given data. How we are going to perform the processing? We are going to start with the certain number of passes, and in each and every pass, we are going to maintain a bucket. So now the thing is that if we need to maintain the bucket, then how many buckets are required? So as I told you that the radix sort is very much dependent upon the type of input that you have. So here the input is a decimal number. So the base is 10. Therefore, we are going to maintain 10 number of buckets starting from 0 to 9, right? So this is the range of the decimal number 0 to 9. So with the help of these buckets, we are going to sort the input data, right? So this is our input data from step number 2. You can see that this is how we have pre-processed the list. Now, in order to get the output, we will start with the tens place, right? So starting from the first number, you can see that at the tens, you will start with the unit place. So you can see that at the unit place, you have 4. So this 0 to 4 will go into the bucket 4, right? So you can see that 0 to 4 is placed inside the bucket 4. Similarly, when you see the next number is 083. At one's place, you have 3. So 083 will go to index number 3. Similarly, the next number is 020. So this will go into the bucket 0 because at the unit place, you have 0. So we have placed at bucket number 0. Then we have 133. You can see that at one's place, you have 3. So 133 will go to the bucket 3. Then 009 will go to the bucket number 9. So 009 is placed at the bucket number 9. In the same manner, 45 will go to the bucket number 5. 900 will go to the bucket number 0. 099 will go to the bucket number 9. And 061 will go to bucket number 1. So after analyzing the last place, right, that is the unit place, we just identify the value which is at the unit place, and then corresponding to that value, we store the data into that particular bucket. Now, after placing the data, this is the status of all the values. What I need to do, starting from the first bucket, right, starting from the first bucket and the first value, we remove the elements one by one from this bucket and create the input for the next pass. So you start from this place, you have 020, take the first value 020 and store it inside the list. Then take 900, then 061, 083, 133, 024, 045, 009 and 099. So whatever is the order you are getting from this particular bucket, you store those values into the list again, right? And now this is your intermediate output, and this output will work as an input for the next pass. So what we will do in the next pass, we will process on this data instead of the original input. So let's go to the second pass. We are going to repeat the same step again, but as you can see that now we are going to process on the tens place. So we are done with the unit place. Now we will start with the tens place. So start with 020. This will go to, just check the tens place. So this will go to bucket 2. 900 will go to bucket number 0. 061 will go to bucket number 6. 083 bucket number 8. 133 will go to bucket number 3. 024 will go to bucket number 2. 045 will go to bucket number 4. 009 will go to bucket number 0. And 099 will go to bucket number 9. Right? So in this way, we have stored the data in the second pass. We have just identified the tens place, and with the help of tens place, we have stored the data, whatever output that we have got from the first pass. We will repeat the process, remove this element one by one, starting from the bucket number 0. So you will have 900, 009, 020, 024, 133, 045, 061, 083, and 099. Again, you will store the data in the form of a list. Now this is going to behave like the intermediate for the next pass. Take this value, and now as you can guess that now we are supposed to work on the 100th place. So this is an input, work on the 100th place. So start with the input that we have. So this is the list we are going to process upon, whatever is the output from the previous pass. So again, we will have 0 to 9, 10 number of buckets. Start from this value. So this is going to be stored at bucket number 9. So simultaneously, we are storing the data. 900 goes to bucket number 9. Then 009 will go to bucket number 0. So you can see that we have stored 009 at bucket number 0. Then we go to 020. This will again fall into the same bucket. 24 will again fall into the same bucket. 133 will go to the first bucket, right? Because at 100th place we have 1. Similarly, 045 will go to the bucket number 0. 061 again goes to bucket number 0, and same for 83 and 99. So once you go to this pass number 3, now you can observe the data that we have in each and every bucket. And then when you remove the data, you can see that the list will be in the sorted form. So you just process the data, remove 9, then 20, then 24, 45, 61, 83, 99, 133 and 900. So after third pass, you will get the sorted list, and therefore this will be the end of bucket sort, right? So you can also observe that the number of passes depends upon how many digits are there in the maximum number, right? So maximum value was 900. There are 3 digits. Therefore, I need to process 3 pass, and after 3 passes, I will get the final answer. So many of the times you can also see that radix sort is called as bucket sort. However, there is a minute difference between them. In case of this sort, radix sort, we go from the least significant bit to the most significant bit, right? Whereas in case of bucket sort, the tracing is just opposite. You start from the most significant and go to the least significant. So many of the time, just because we are maintaining the bucket, radix sort and bucket sort are used as interchangeably, but make sure that there is a minute difference, although both of them takes the linear time, right? So now let's see the time complexity. So the time complexity is equals to D, right? So D is the number of digits that we have in the maximum number, multiplied by N is the input plus number of buckets that we are maintaining. And as I told you that the time complexity is a factor of the input that we have to the algorithm. So D and B are some constant values. Therefore, the time complexity for the Radix sort is going to be a linear because it depends upon n to the power 1, right? So again, next two properties. So is Radix sort stable? Yes, it is stable, but it is not in place, right? You can see that all the time we are maintaining some extra memory in the form of buckets, and these buckets are going to take certain memory, and therefore it is going to require extra memory, so it is not in place.